Hello everyone, it's Teacher Ivy here. Today we are talking about 4 key skills that you need to boost your IELTS speaking score. Skills that go way beyond the grading criteria. And I'll be giving you some examples to help you understand how to use these skills effectively. Let's get started. The first skill is self-confidence. When you're confident, you sound more natural and you speak without hesitation. Confidence makes a huge difference in how the examiner perceives you. So here's an example. Let's say you're asked, what do you do in your free time? Instead of hesitating and giving a one-word answer like I watch movies, you could confidently say, in my free time, I love watching movies, especially science fiction. It's fascinating how these films explore futuristic worlds and technology. See how this sounds more engaging? You're expanding on your answer and showing you're comfortable talking. So some tips to boost your confidence. Number 1, I want you to practice talking to yourself. It might sound silly, but it works. Speak in front of a mirror or record yourself answering IELTS question, and you can then listen to yourself and give yourself some feedbacks. And number 2 is, I need you to familiarize yourself with IELTS topics, and you need to know what topics could come up in the exam, and expecting it make it a lot easier for you to boost your confidence. So skill number 2 is producing ideas. So in the IELTS speaking test, you need to come up with the responses very quickly. So here, you don't need to panic. I need you to understand that it's not about having the best ideas, but just something to say. So you could say, I recently read Atomic Habits by James Clear. It's a self-help book that focuses on how small changes in daily habits can lead to significant personal growth over time. Here, what I found the most interesting was the idea of 2-minute rule, which encourages starting new habits by doing them for just 2 minutes. And this made me realize how powerful small steps can be in achieving the biggest change or the biggest goals. See, notice how I have included the book title, a brief summary, and a personal connection. It doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be relevant and clear. So here are some tips to help you produce better ideas. Number 1, use real-life experiences. Talk about your own experiences and examples, and this makes it a lot easier to keep the conversation going. And number 2, you need to practice brainstorming before the test. So before answering, mentally jot down 2 to 3 points, or you are given a piece of paper for you to note down your answers. So be sure to use it and note down everything that comes up in your mind. And if you have any difficulty producing ideas, I want you to refer back to my video that I did last month on how you can extend your answers by using the 5 senses, and I hope you check that out too. So let's move on with another skill that's essential in IELTS speaking, that is approaching questions from different angles. And this is especially useful in part 3, where you'll be asked to give a more detailed answer. So let's take a look at an example. If you are asked, do you think technology has improved communication? You could answer, yes, definitely. Technology has made it easier to stay in touch with people around the world through social media and messaging apps. However, on the other hand, it can sometimes reduce face-to-face interaction, which I think are also very important. And second, I need you to use some connectors like however, although, on the other hand, to show that you have compared the different points of view. And lastly, it's the most important skill in IELTS speaking, that is, your answer should be like a presentation. So you should master presentation giving skills. So it's like treating your answers like a mini presentation, and they can help you sound more polished and organized, especially in part 2. So here's an example. In part 2, if you're asked to describe a memorable trip, so instead of just listing all the details, you could structure it like this. Let's take a look at my example. So one of the most memorable trips I've taken was to Hanoi, Vietnam, with a day trip to Ha Long Bay. After exploring the lively streets of Hanoi and its historical sites, I traveled to Ha Long Bay, which was absolutely stunning. We took a boat cruise around the bay, passing by beautiful limestone islands rising from the green water. The highlight was visiting the Surprise Cave, which was huge rock formations hanging from the ceilings and growing from the ground. It felt like stepping into another world. The mix of Hanoi's culture and Ha Long Bay's natural beauty made it a trip I always remember. So that's my answer. So I want you to notice how I gave a clear beginning, the middle, and the end, just like in a presentation. And this makes your answer easier to follow. Okay, so here are some tips to improve your presentation skills. Number one, I need you to structure your answers. Try to follow a clear pattern by writing down the introductions, the details, and also the conclusions. And you could also structure your answers according to the past, the present, and the future. And second, I want you to engage your listener. I want you to use expressive language, vary your tone, and show enthusiasm for the topic. You could even use some basic skills like being in eye contact with the examiner, or using the gesture that I'm using right now, your hand gesture and your body language. So this will make your answer more presentation-like and make it more engaging. Okay, so to recap, the essential skills are: number one, I want you to work on your self-confidence. 2, get better at producing ideas. 3, learn to approach questions from different angles. And 4, practice using your presentation skills to make your answers stand out. Okay, so I hope you found this video helpful, and if you're preparing for IELTS, I wish all the best for you and good luck. I see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye bye.